Hello, this is BD Frank. This is a video of a recent ambitious project I decided to try, of putting a forced patina on a national Reso rocket resonator guitar body. I was able to work with raw brass and work with National on assembly of the guitar. I would like to state right at the start of this video, I'm not a chemist and I'm not a metalworker. I'm just an inquisitive person and trying to see what I can do to make this guitar look interesting. Notably, this process includes the use of vinegar, ammonia, and salt. I do recommend that if you take on a project like this, you do your research and you wear safety gear. In other words, don't do as I do. This is just a fun project for me and not intended for other people to duplicate. That's my disclaimer. Let's get rolling. I started the process using brass samples that were the same alloy as the guitar body. They were suspended in my homemade airtight box. I have two spray solutions, one vinegar and one salt water, both in spray bottle, as well as a small amount of ammonia in a Tupperware container. The samples were in the box approximately 3 hours, and the one on the left is vinegar with a little bit of spray salt. The one in the middle is vinegar with salt sprinkled on it, just a very little bit, and the one on the right is vinegar with a large amount of spray salt. My preference was that I really liked the blue and the aqua coloring. However, I did not like the runniness of the heavy salt spray, so I tried to fall somewhere in the middle. At this point, I had a sense of false confidence, so I thought it was time to put the guitar body in and give it a shot. I figured if worse came to worse, I could spend 3 hours of my day sanding it down and reflecting on my lack of knowledge about what I'm doing. So anyway, I suspended the guitar body in the box with rope going through the guitar, trying not to touch the guitar body in any spots that are going to be visible. I put a small battery-operated fan in the box to help circulate the air, hoping that the air would circulate evenly around the guitar body. I put a Tupperware container with approximately 3/4 of an inch of ammonia in the bottom of the box. Now I'm just about ready to spray the guitar body. As I mentioned earlier, I have two sprays. I have a salt water spray, which is approximately 4 tablespoons of salt boiled in water put in the spray bottle, and the second bottle is straight vinegar. Additionally, I did spend a little time trying to find spray bottles that were more atomizer type sprays and less messy splattery sprays. However, I did get a little splatter when I did spray, as you'll see coming up. The first spray I used was the vinegar spray. Needless to say, the whole time I was spraying the guitar, I was wondering if I was ruining a nice resonator guitar body. But again, I thought 3 hours of sanding and start again. I tried to use extra care on the top of the guitar because obviously that's going to be the most visible part. Next, I did the same process with the salt water spray. Again, the whole time wondering if I was ruining a really nice resonator guitar body. But once again, thinking nothing that 3 hours of sanding couldn't fix, though perhaps with this treatment I might be up to 4 hours of sanding. Due to lack of knowledge, there were some discussions with my son. What happens if this whole thing goes bad and explodes? My ignorant response, that would probably make a really good looking guitar body. So, onward we went. And from then on, I stood just a little further away from the box. The next part of the process was taking the top off the ammonia and capping off the box. For this process, I held my breath, which again brings me to the discussion. If you do something like this, be sure to use the correct safety gear. For the first portion of the ammonia process, I left the guitar body in the fumes for approximately 1 hour. After 1 hour, the guitar body showed signs of the start of a patina. Mainly browns, no blues and aquas as my sample. However, my sample was in for 3 hours. Therefore, I covered it up again for another hour. Okay, here's my 2-hour check. Let's see what we got. Ooh-wee, getting those blues and aquas. That's what I was going for, more similar to the sample. However, I'm going to give it one more hour, see what happens. Okay, here we are, hour 3. Now that's what I was going for. Very, very nice. Now thinking ahead, I know from past samples and a couple cover plates I've done in the past that a lot of the white and the blues will fade and disappear once it's lightly cleaned, and of course, once it's lacquered, it will darken up quite a bit. My intentions are to put a couple of coats of Iralac lacquer on it, maybe 3 or 4 thin coats, and then send it back to National and let them do the final lacquer on it, with hopes of a nice thick coating. Okay, here it is out of the box. All nicely finished. I'm very, very happy with the way it looks. I did a light cleaning on it. It seemed to bring out a little bit more of the blues. Now the next part of the process is to set it up for the thin coats of lacquer. Let's take a look around the guitar. I really like the blues. I actually like the drip marks. It really looks nice. I'm pleased. Now the next part of this process is that I have to suspend the guitar so that I can spray it. I set up a rig where I pulled the rope through the neck portion of the guitar so I could hang it easily. Now that I've got it rigged for hanging, next I will bring it to my professional spray booth and suspend it in preparation for the lacquer spray. Okay, here we are at my professional spray booth. Hopefully nothing will fly into it. Lucky for me, it's a very still day and not much of a breeze. Again, as it's hanging, I think to myself, I'm up to 6 hours of sanding if something goes wrong. Here we are after 5 coats of ultra-thin spray lacquer. No flies, no dirt. Got lucky, but I really do like the way it turned out. On second thought, a little bit of dirt probably wouldn't hurt anyway. Probably make it more authentic. Next, it's time for all our accessory pieces to get the same treatment. I will not bore you with the process as it was just the same. Our accessory pieces are completed and already lacquered with again 5 very light coats. Let's take a look at what it looks like with the body. I'd say it's a pretty close match. Looks pretty good to me, and I'm very happy with the way it turned out. I'm going to take this moment for a couple of notes. Now that I have the guitar back from National completed, they did a couple coats of lacquer on it for me, and I'm a little disappointed because it darkened up a little more than I was hoping that it would. A lot of the blue disappeared, but it's still a really nice looking guitar. If I hadn't seen it before, I would think that it was a really beautiful guitar, and I really do think it is a beautiful guitar, and very happy with the way it turned out. I really have no complaints. If anybody that watches this video has any suggestions of any other finish other than lacquer that may do a better job, please let me know. I would be very interested. Additionally, I play with metal finger picks and use them on the guitar body for percussion, so I already have a few spots worn through. However, this does happen to many of my guitars because of the style I play. My forced patina process started with a couple of mandolin covers. This first one here was vinegar with kitty litter on it, which I really liked the effect. No salt, so no blues and aquas. The second one here was actually sprinkled with salt, and I really liked the way that turned out. However, the salt is really corrosive and ate up my bridge cover here in a matter of hours. This was maybe 3 hours, 4 hours tops, and that's what it did to it. Again, you're working with chemicals, and really, if you're going to do something like this, look into it before you do anything. And if you reach the end of the video here, you're a true art fan, or you're asleep. and thank you for watching. I do appreciate it. I really did enjoy the process and wanted to show the process just for the fun. This is BD Frank. Thanks again for watching. Suggestions, conversations, and comments are welcome.